Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. I want to show you 4 new knives. These are EDC knives, everyday use knives, possibly utility knives depending on what you use for a utility knife. But they're from a company called Firebird. I'm pretty sure these guys are like a subsidiary of Gonzo. And what I can tell you is that they're budget friendly and the steel and overall construction is quite good. So let me just kind of give you the rundown here. Like the video says, this is a first look, and then I'm going to EDC some of these knives just to test them out and see what we think about them a little bit more. I have been carrying 1 or 2 of these in particular for a short time, and they've been good for me so far. So this is the first one right here from Firebird. This is, as far as the number, it is the F761. It's in 440C. For your steel, you got a G10 handle there. This is what they call their G-lock, which may look familiar to you. Thumb studs for deployment. Got a, there's your pocket clip there. You can flip it to the other side, and when it is actually in your pocket, obviously, as you can see, you're not gonna have a whole lot of the knife exposed or of the handle exposed. So this one I haven't EDC'd a ton. This one's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones that I'm looking at, but it's cool. It's very ergonomic, I can tell you that. And the price point for this, you know, I'm always skeptical to like tell you the exact price because things change, particularly on Amazon. But all these knives are running around the $20 to $25 range at the time of this video. So again, the number for this one is the F761 and 440C for your steel. And I've got large size hands, that's what it looks like for me. This one I would say is an everyday carry knife, but also usable as a utility knife and certainly an outdoor knife as well. So for me, when I think about an outdoor knife or a utility knife, I want kind of a broad blade. So I want some width there. I don't want a real skinny blade, just because how I'm gonna be using it in the outdoors, that's gonna be most helpful to me. So we got a swedge up top there. Like I said, thumb studs for deployment. Give you a look at the blade here. It did come nice and sharp. They did a good job as far as from the factory. Take a look inside. I don't know if you could see inside. They're all, yeah, you can see a little bit. So they are milled out a little bit. And yeah, comfortable in hand. Again, I've got large size hands. The jimping to me is just right. Sometimes you get that over aggressive, sometimes you get that pointless jimping. This to me is just right. And there's jimping, and then there's a little divot here where you can rest your thumb. So I feel like that's actually really nice. I feel like with this, I've got a good solid grip on it. I could, you know, grab a hold of something and really dig into it. So once again, this is a Firebird knife, and it is F761. And I'm actually noticing here, I knew it was connected to Gonzo, but it says made by Gonzo. So Gonzo is the manufacturer, and I wonder if the Firebird is like one of their subsidiaries or one of their brands. So again, 20 bucks right around there for this first knife. Let's take a look at the second one. All right, here's your second knife. This one to me is way more of an everyday carry knife. I wouldn't be using this as a utility knife and outdoor knife. This is the FH11. This is in D2 steel. I think it's got a really nice profile to it. Just a good looking blade, nice sweep there. Again, came nice and sharp. This one is a liner lock and flipper for deployment. And this one comes in a couple colors. I don't know if you can tell on camera here, but this is like kind of it's green, got a little bit of a hint, like a tinge of blue as well. And I've seen it on Amazon in black, so you can get a black handle. You can see the Firebird logo there in the handle. There's your spacer in the back. Nice deep pocket clip, only one side there, so it's gonna be tip up, right hand carry. There's your jimping up on the top. Again, appropriate. This one's a little bit more aggressive than the first one, but again, comfortable. This one I would say is blockier than the first one. The other one has a little bit more kind of an ergonomic shape, but comfortable in hand. That last one had G10 scales. This one has G10 as well, or G10 handles. This one has G10 handles as well. This is one of the 2 that I've been EDCing the most. This one I'm about to show you is the one I have been carrying the absolute most of all these knives. Again, this is in D2 steel. FH11 is the number as far as your if you want to look it up online, just type in Firebird FH11 on Amazon. And I got links to all these down below in the description section if you want to buy one of them. So right now, at the time of this video, this one's running a little bit more. It's about $24.95. But again, a handsome blade. And the overall quality and construction, I've been flipping this thing like crazy. And, you know, no issues. Doesn't feel like it's getting jammed up. And I'll you know, as always, I'll report in longer term as I use it if there's any issues. But again, first look here just so you guys can know about some of these knives that I'm checking out. So here's the third knife. This is the FH21. This is also in D2. This is the one I've been EDCing the most. You can see it in the blue handle here. You can also get it in green as well, and black as well. I'm just looking at my notes up here. So green and black as well. and this one's going to run you a little bit more. This one's up to around $26. Flipper, again, nice profile for the blade. I don't know if I'd call it, I mean, it's basically a drop point, but it's got a little bit of a hint of a spear point there, I would say. Jimping up on the top, a little bit more aggressive than the first one, similar to the second one. Again, I'm not using this as an aggressive outdoor knife or tactical knife, but for everyday carry type tasks, I think that's going to work nicely. There's your slot, a little bit thin to run paracord through, so you may have to really finagle it to get some paracord through that, or use something smaller. Nice deep pocket clip, right hand carry only, again, tip up. It's got a little bit of some cutouts there, some design on the handle, which is nice. And there's the back side as well. So yeah, that's the third one. And again, this one's in D2. I think the last one's in D2 as well. So one in 440C and the rest are in D2. And this is the FH21. I've liked this one. I've actually used this one a decent amount for everyday carry tasks over the last probably week and a half. And it's done a good job. And again, came nice and sharp. Here's the last one. You probably immediately can tell this is carbon fiber. So this one is going to be a little bit lighter. This is the FH41 in D2 steel. So carbon fiber for the handle. There's your blade. I think it's a pretty attractive looking knife. We've got a liner lock there, flipper for deployment. Nice deep pocket clip there. It's going to be only right hand and tip up carry. Lanyard hole, which is kind of interesting. It's up there as opposed to back in the back. So it's a little bit, I don't know if it's in a totally different spot than most, but it's definitely a little bit different than a lot of my knives, I would say. Fun to deploy, very smooth. So if you need something that's got a lot of texture, I would say probably one of the first two, probably the first one has got the most texture of these four. This one definitely is more of an EDC knife because of that carbon fiber, at least in my mind. That's how I think about these knives. So again, this is the FH41, and a little bit more belly on this knife, and you can also see the Firebird logo, as is true on all the other knives that are on the blades there. So yeah, that's the last one. Let me grab all four of them here and give you a quick look again. So here's the last two that we looked at. Try to get the glare off a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. So those are the last two, and then we'll take a look at the first two here. That's number 2, and this is the first one. So those are the first two that we looked at. So honestly, I think they're all pretty good looking knives. These two are my favorite, and I think this one is the top one for me. This is the FH11 in D2 steel. This one is definitely more of the utility outdoor knife. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll probably EDC all of them maybe for like a day, and then I'll probably give those last two away. So head over to the Everyday Tactical Vids Facebook page, and I'll do some giveaways over there. But just want to let you know about these guys. They reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to review some knives? I said, I don't want to do a ton of individual reviews, but I will let people know about your blades and yeah, and inform people. When Ganzo first came out, I'll tell you that some of their designs, maybe a lot of their designs, looked very similar to other knives that are already out there, and so I kind of stayed away. And it seems like they're moving more in their own direction, even to have Firebird as opposed to Ganzo. I think they're trying to rebrand themselves, and I think generally they're moving in a better direction at this point. Yeah, so I'll be testing all of them out, and then using these first two that I showed you a little bit more, and we'll let you know what we think. So stay tuned for more pictures of these guys on social media, and let's hear your thoughts on Ganzo, Firebird, whatever the case might be. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this first look video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids here on YouTube. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.